Hey guys, it's your author, Alex Dry.
And your second favorite person, Rachel Olson.
We are back with another entry of the Dry Diaries After Dark series. Today we have Farron with us, aka SpiritOnTap. We're so excited to have her and get into her psychic mediumship and more. Rachel, this is her first experience doing all this. And as you guys know, I'm super spiritual. I am obsessed with all this stuff.
So excited.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and read your auras and get you all the magic that is spirituality, psychic mediumship, and good energy.
I found her on Instagram and I was like, okay, she has to come on the podcast.
And she was literally the first person you showed me too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because I don't really use IG so much. IG has a placeholder energy for me. I'm really a TikToker at heart. And I use IG stories a lot because I just feel like that's where my energy does really well. So I'm actually really happy to know that you found me on IG because I feel like maybe I'm getting pulled over there to share more content.
Okay, so to get started, you're a psychic medium or a strategist who turned your gifts into one of her biggest manifestations. She now uses her intuitive abilities and unique aura color strategies to help wandering souls find their way, whether that's checking in with loved ones from above or navigating impossible dreams. And tonight is a full moon, and we decided to do it on this night because of the energy and everything going on. We couldn't imagine anyone better to guide us
and spend our full moon with.
I don't know if you guys are into astrology at all, but the full moon tonight, full moons are typically big periods of release. I would invite you and everyone who's listening to look up their birth chart and see where the full moon is going to be for the next 2 weeks. That way you can focus on that energy and that chapter of your life and where it's going to be giving you space to bring in something new.
I love that.
That makes total sense. I am not a crier. I rarely show emotion. And this past weekend, I think I cried like 7 times.
Gotta let it out sometimes.
Yeah.
It's in Pisces, so that is the ultimate water sign of just, oh, I'm wallowing and I'm underwater and like, how can I release? And it's giving all the crying.
Oh, wow. Before we get into this though, I have a question. What do you think about chat GBTing your signs and the full moons and how they correlate with one another? Is that frowned upon?
Taking all the information, plugging it into ChatGPT and letting it guide you?
Yeah, so basically I took Rachel's birthday, the time she was born, and plugged it into ChatGPT, and I asked them like, how does her birth chart line up with the full moons of last month? And it gave me 2 dates, so I told her about the 2 dates, and it really aligned with what happened.
So I'm a big fan of ChatGPT in general.
Same.
And I actually am not someone who believes that it would put me out of work type of energy. I think it's a tool for ChatGPT for astrology because I've dabbled in that myself. The best move is to plug everything in, but don't copy the image itself. Go and copy the aspect table. That way everything is lined up directly, and make sure you have fed ChatGPT good astrology content before you have it reach, because sometimes it doesn't reach so well and it'll be like, oh, your moon's in Aries. And then you're like, what do you mean it's in Pisces? And then it's like, oh, sorry, you're right, it's in Pisces. It will just make silly errors. So as long as you really educate it before you use it, then it's a really powerful tool and you just keep feeding it good information. But yeah, in terms of timing, there's an amazing astrologer named Ziggy Astrology on TikTok and Instagram. I bought her aspect, like red flags in a relationship, plugged in her PDF into ChatGPT, and now anytime I'm dating someone, I copy their birth date in there and it says, hey, these bombs, you need to watch out.
Run away right now.
Yeah, it's like major deal breakers. And I only used it on past dead relationships to confirm, you know, this relationship, I just could never manifest it. It was like 2 magnets going in opposing directions. And it literally said in there, this will never come to fruition.
At least you gave it a chance before it was the full write-off.
My point is, if you feed it, I think it will absolutely deliver.
I've trained my chat GBT very well, so she's very trusted.
Alex 2.0.
I call her Alex 2.0.
I've had clients take the information that I've taught them about their auras and plug it into ChatGPT, it will literally pull it in under self-care when they're going through a breakdown and be like, maybe you should also do this to help your aura feel better.
Whenever you're doing aura readings, you said it can help your aura change. Is aura basically energy and you have the gift of seeing people's different auras around them?
So your aura, it's your field. It's right here. It's like your entire reality. If somebody gets that close to you, they get in your energy,
Mm.
right? And it comes in colors. We have predominant colors that define our personality, and that's what I'm going to read off of each of you today. Some people would typecast it as a gift to be able to see it so clearly, but I'm someone who believes that everyone can see them. And when we read Rachel's, Alex, I'll teach you how to read it alongside me because I think you'll be able to pull the energy out with me and practice and see just how easy it is. But yeah, I can see different color combinations on people. And when you have a certain color combo, it creates a personality like Myers-Briggs or astrology. And then it defines your aura. It's your boundary. So it's going to determine what you like, what you don't like, and who is an absolute goner. And it's going to create this path for you to move through life. The idea is that when you're in alignment with the colors that you have and the combo they create, life is easy and you can manifest much faster because you're not taking on an identity that isn't authentic to who you are.
Does it make it easier in your own personal life because you can see people's auras?
Yeah, I read everybody. I don't have any filter with that. I read random people on the street for practice or just very publicized figures, babies, anyone
Really?
at transitional stages in their life. It's definitely a life hack for sure. It helps me understand my role in someone's life too. Also, like my own boundaries with someone. I use it all the time. This is not an ability that I shut off. I like to tell people it comes with a warning because it is going to affect your eyesight if that's how you're pulling information off of people.
Yeah.
And you just want to be cautious about that so that it doesn't drain you too fast because it is energy work.
But what age did you discover that you had this gift or ability?
Psychic mediumship was when I was 11. My grandmother died, my dad's mom. And I got really good at guessing on exams. I could hear her voice and smell her cigarettes. I was like, Graham, where did you go? Aura reading came to me later. It's something that I love. And I've learned from other great aura readers and teachers that can't even see auras but know how to channel them in different ways. I've learned how to access that information. And I've been working on it, I would say, for now exclusively about 7 years.
Wow.
And that I would say is what comes very easily to me in addition to psychic mediumship, but it's not something that I think is exclusive to me. I'm great at it. I do believe that it's teachable. And
Yeah.
I'm not someone that's like, oh, if you can't see color, it'll never happen. I don't believe that. I'm
Mhm.
a very abundant person, a positive person. And sometimes people think that it's unrealistic, but I've seen people go from seeing nothing to seeing everything. So, yeah, I think it's meant to be shared.
I've talked to different mediums and recently a past life healer. With the mediumship, he told me that everyone has the ability. It's just some people have the ability a little bit stronger and it comes more natural and easier to them. But it's also how open your field is to being able to take on this gift or channel different things.
So, very interestingly, they're not wrong. And even if you heard the language you said, you mentioned the field. So, that's your auric field, right? That's
Mm.
your aura. When he says that everyone could receive that information, but may not be able to determine where it's coming from, or what it means, or how to use it, that really is coming directly through your colors. And certain colors have very distinct gifts.
Mm.
Like purples are major psychics, like just know things with no proof, and turquoises are more mediums and shamans and channelers. When you put those colors together, you get someone like me. It creates an identity, but that energy, it's color specific. So you'll see, Rachel, when I read your aura and I talk about some of these colors, you'll be like, oh my God, that's where that's from.
Is there anything else that you want to share as far as like how you discovered your gifts or how you got into it?
No, I actually became self taught and grew up near a Saturn line in Florida. I don't know if you guys have ever done astrocartography, But if you're not familiar, it shows really strong places that would influence you, good and bad. I grew up around a really hard line, so no one believed me. Imagine being incredibly sensitive, intuitive, psychic, telling people their fates all the time, and then having to wait for time to catch up so I can say, I told you so. Yeah. And then people actively not taking your advice because they don't believe you or don't see what you're saying as valuable. And it really creates confidence. So that built up a lot for me when I wasn't living near that line anymore and people started taking me seriously. I was like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, it just shouldn't be that hard. Like many other professionals, I've taken lots of courses and classes and done workshops. The best builder for what I do is not only experience and practice, but exposure. I moved away a long time ago from trying to convince people that what I did was real. And now I'm more of a teacher for people who want to do what I do. So I've moved into an extremist zone where people are coming to me because they want to be teachers themselves. I don't do convincing things anymore.
Did anyone in your family have any gifts or abilities?
My grandmother on my dad's side was always very intuitive, but she was much older. She died when I was 11, so I really didn't get a lot of time with her because she lived in another state. And then my great grandmother, who I'm named after, died when I was born. So I didn't know her, but she comes to me often and shows me that we have similar colors.
No
A part of me
way.
believes there was a shared history there. I grew up in a family that does not believe in anything that I do. They are government researched, funded. Where's the proof? Where's the numbers? My brother is autistic, high functioning autism. He didn't get behind my business till he saw it become successful with numbers. And then he was like, oh, this could work. He literally was just like, oh, yeah, my sister, she does all this spiritual stuff. And all his friends love it because his aura colors are love matches to mine. So they attract a lot of spiritual people. But growing up in a home that didn't support that, I found support through friends. And I had an astrologer one time when I was 17 tell me, like, she was French and she was like, oh my gosh, but you are psychic. And I was like, I am psychic. And that was the first time I ever had somebody say that to me.
It was probably so reassuring because you've been waiting for someone to say that and you were just like, finally.
I literally was like, oh my gosh, validation. Is that what that feels like? I still seek out mentorship and support because I don't have that built in with my immediate family. My dad has passed now and I work with him every day. And my mom and brother have access to someone who talks to their significant other or father every single day. But
Oh my God.
even when I talk to my mom, she's like, does dad see me? And I'm like, are you serious? You know, it's really frustrating.
You're like, actually, he's with you right now.
When someone is so deeply like a non-believer, you just have to meet them where they're at.
Yeah. And I feel like that's with so many other jobs and everything else. If it's not something that's written on paper, like a teacher, nurse, it takes a lot of convincing. And at that point, do what makes you happy and do everything that you can because it's your life at the end of the day.
I try to tell people it's like teaching someone about manifestation. You want them to believe it so bad, but sometimes they just have to experience it themselves. And then there's no resistance. And then it works out great.
Yeah.
If you're over here doing your thing and someone can't energetically receive that level, they're just not ever going to be able to make that bridge.
And props to you and congratulations building the business that you have.
Yeah, and sticking with it and being so amazing at it too.
Thank you. I'm really proud of it and I love it. It's something that's fun and has easy flow for me. I'm really sensitive. Like commuting to work and exhausting myself, like, I'll be out by 10 a.m. It took a long time to figure that out. That's why I like to teach people about their colors so they can avoid burning out.
It's such a healing gift to have too.
One of my colors, the turquoise, it really is a healer and it's like a mirror. So when people look at my turquoise or they're in front of me, they often don't see me, they see themselves. So it's either really triggering or really inspiring. But either way, I have to watch what I say because I have to make sure that it doesn't cut somebody and they're not prepared. And then they're like, I never want to see her again. Bye.
Well, with us, there's zero filters here. You will not hurt our feelings. We're no filter. Okay, so this kind of goes back to the household that you're raised in, because for me personally, I am a very spiritual person and I've gotten a lot of pushback. I was raised in the South. So there's a lot of misconceptions around different spiritual aspects like aura reading, mediumship, and they see it more as a practice of witchcraft. So, what do you tell people that have that misconception or they have the hesitancy to step into it because of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I see it split. The first way that I see it is depending if someone was like right in front of me asking me this question with their own limited ability to be open, I'd have to accept where they're at and I'd have to understand that this is not necessarily someone that would meet me on the day to day. Someone who comes through my channel would find me and already be a believer, more or less, versus someone that was introduced through a family friend at a Halloween party or a Christmas party in real life. Like they may not have regular access to me. I would probably accept where they're at without attempting to convince them that this is just energy. Sometimes when people are exposed to things that are new, it's that traditional block that exists and their ability to remain open. It's tough to not personalize it. I have to accept where they're at and know that convincing someone to open up and move more, I don't even think that I would go that route anymore. I don't think it's my job or role to convince people. And on the other spectrum, someone who is really more open and in front of me, or I've seen their colors and maybe I know they have turquoise in there. So I know that they maybe believe in something that they may not be able to see in writing, maybe aliens or something, or they've had their own experiences with. That would be more of someone that I would feel comfortable being myself around, where I can share, like, oh my gosh, I read so many auras today. You're not going to believe it. I would lead with interest and education versus what I believe is true and your beliefs are wrong. I have more of a teacher energy. So I found that the best way to lead anyone into a space that they don't know they're going to is to be educational about it in a way that's fun. That's why I do a lot of TikToks about celebrity colors because then people are like, "Oh my god, what are my colors?" It invites you to ask the question yourself. It'd be like, "Hey babe, let me tell you all about your colors." Someone maybe be like, "Huh?" They just don't have the same willingness. I found that when I do share more about that with people, they become like diehard fans and they want to learn more and they're interested. I think that speaks to the information itself, but I also think it speaks to who I am in a lot of people's lives, in that I'm more of a teacher of things that can't be seen or energy. So if you were dating someone and you wanted to get their astrology, like their time of birth, you probably have to be real sly.
I'm sending you the photo.
Yeah, like, "Oh my god, do you know when were you born? Do you have the date?" And you'd have to be real slick. I can literally be like, "What's your time of birth?" And they're like, "Oh my god, you can do that?" It's a totally different receptivity because that's what I do professionally. So I think my role in sharing information is also really important here versus someone who's just open and exposed.
Have you seen people's energy or auras be blocked if they aren't open to this side of spirituality? Do you just see a very dark aura?
No, usually my turquoise lets me really get into anyone. I don't really like to read people that haven't come to me. Public figures, I treat very differently. If you can look up somebody's birth record as a public figure, that means you can look up their whole life via astrology. So energy reading is very different to me. The only times I've personally had a harder time pulling color on someone was when they were near death, where part of their soul was already transitioning and
Wow.
their energy got very, it was like the color was leaving, and it got very like
Wow.
neutrally gray because they had like little life left. Anybody that's in front of me, I've always been able to read them. I'm not someone who's they have a dark aura and they're dangerous. That's not how I see aura or educate people about them.
Oh,
That's the
that's
only time
so
I've
cool.
gotten really like, where is your soul in this transitional space right now? Even still, then I could pick up traits with their colors of what was left, but a lot of their identity was moving into a space where it was not going to be human anymore. So it lost
Wow.
that level of access.
I love that. Do you think that whenever you transcend and go into whatever one believes in, for me personally, I feel like everyone goes to heaven or people that believe. Do you think that you take your aura with you and it's just maybe a little bit brighter, or what's your belief
Oh, I
on
love
that?
that. No one's ever asked me that question. I do think that you take that light with you because I think the soul is unlimited.
Yeah.
So I feel like when someone passes and they have these color specifics here on earth, I think they take those traits with them in that same life that is a part of who they are. I have enough dead relatives that are close to me where I can tell you their essence of who they are is absolutely attached to them.
Love that.
Yeah. Because
Love that.
anytime I've spoken to a medium, it's always one person that comes through. And the same personality she had when she was here is the same personality. And she doesn't let anybody else come through. It's always her.
I was in the shower earlier and I was thinking, I feel like there's a grandmother over there and I didn't know who it was for. And I was like, oh, I don't want to project that. But I wrote that in my notes.
No
We
way.
Yeah, I was like, is your grandmother? Yeah. So
I also have a grandma that passed as well, but I don't know if it would be. But it's definitely Alex's. She's
Like,
always
move out
trying to
the
poke her
way.
nose in.
when I used to do live streams on TikTok, I would always do big group live streams, like 1,000 people, and you would come in with traits, like maybe 5 grandmothers would be together, and I'd be like, "Grandmother, blonde hair, sure." Like they'd come together that way, even if it wasn't
Oh,
a specific channel team, because
Really?
I was going live. The combo would come in that like this message is for you, and you would get that validation. So I think even the fact that I wrote grandmother and I felt the grandmother and I didn't know who it was is a sign for you as well, Rachel. So don't rule her. She's like, don't rule me out.
yeah. She's like, I'm still here.
She's
Uh, Okay, well, I'm really excited. So we're already getting into it naturally. But tonight, guys, we're going to be doing a little aura reading. And actually, this is both Rachel and I's first aura
You haven't
reading.
gotten one before?
I've never gotten one. I feel like I've done everything else but this. So I'm so
I'm
excited.
so excited. Even just chatting with you, this is so awesome.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm really glad that this is your first time because there are many ways to get an aura reading. But truly, if you're listening, the best way to do it is a live reading with someone who can visually see auras. Aura photography is taking off everywhere. And I think that's a really great twist where you can have a wonderful spiritual experience there, but you don't have to be reliant on the result. If someone is getting all the same traits, but maybe the color is different, the traits are what matters. Okay. So this is going to be great. Do you want to start with Rachel?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do this aura reading. What I want to invite all the listeners to do, or if you're watching this on YouTube, is to just take a second. And Alex, you too, I'm going to get you to read with me. Take a second and just ground your energy and set an intention that you're going to see Rachel's authentic aura colors, authentic meaning hers, not from a boyfriend or a job or a parent projecting their desires onto you. So once you get into that space, Rachel, what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to flow into your energy. I will be there for 60 seconds. I'm going to count you down like 10, 20, 30, up to 60. You may feel tingles. You may feel heat, like, oh my God, someone is here. That's all normal. I do not want to be in your energy more than you want me to be there. So
Okay.
my goal is for you to feel comfortable.
Okay.
You can say things like, my aura is big and strong, my energy is safe, or just focus on your breath. And if you want, you can close your eyes.
Do people normally close their eyes?
They
Okay.
normally close their eyes, but if you
Okay.
feel like you have to open them halfway through, it's not going to throw me off. Alex, what I
Yeah.
want you to do is stare right here around that facial upper body realm for about 30 seconds without blinking. When we start, don't do it yet. What you're going to do is focus right here towards her head space where the energy is strong. After about 30 seconds, you're going to pull your eyes about 3 or 4 inches out of her energy and pull the color out of her head space into this blank space. Whatever colors you see, they don't have to be right. I just want you to know you're able to tap in very easily to someone. And this is one of the best ways to do it because you're right next to her and you're close and you're in person. So you have a clear vantage point. Okay? Let me know when you're ready, Rachel, and we'll start.
All right, I'm ready.
Here we go. 20. You're doing great. 30, halfway there. And 60. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Very cool. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You're back.
We're back, baby.
Did you feel anything?
I don't know if I was nervous, but the inside of my body was kind of shaking. and the breathing was helping me, but didn't feel anything too crazy. I'm really bad at relaxing, so it was nice just to finally be at peace for a second.
Good. That's a normal, very typical experience. Sometimes people try to hug me when I'm in there and I'm like, don't touch me. Like I'm in the
Yeah.
It's wild, man. You never know what someone is comfortable doing.
Yeah.
How was your experience, Alex?
It was good. I feel like my eyes are very sensitive to light. So being in the studio, it's a little bit harder.
Were you
But
able to see any colors?
I saw yellow
Very good.
and a little, not like pinky, but it was like orange.
Interesting, Rachel, your aura a little more complicated. I want to talk about those two colors first, and then I'm going to go into the colors that I saw. I think, Alex, what you picked up on immediately was the outermost layer of her energy where there's some yellow and what is presenting in that pink, orangey, red hue. The yellow, because it's in that outermost energy, that's what we call adopted energy. So that means it's not your authentic color. It's great that it's actually showing up like this because I can see where both of them are coming from. The yellow for you professionally, it's a connector to people. It's a really curious color and it pulls people in. It has this warm energy that loves to learn and is like the sun, consistent and bright. And if you get too close, it will burn you.
But
What do you do professionally outside of the podcast?
so I'm a celebrity stylist. I work in editorial commercial, mainly.
The artistry type of work,
Yeah.
right? That is very yellow. This color, I don't feel it's deep soul authentic to you, but it's serving you professionally because it's going to surround you with other people who are yellows. And then you'll have more expansion energetically that way. You'll pull people in that have those traits and they'll support you and supplement your energy as a result. Pinkish orange hue that I'm seeing shows up when there is trauma energy, like something really serious has happened to the point where your aura is like, pay attention to me, and it's looking for more support. And so it's in a healing phase. So the outermost part is there's a couple cracks on it. So I see a couple cracks over there where that orangish haze is coming in. Alex, it may look pink to you because of your aura colors that are lightening it up a couple more hues. To me, it's presenting in that deeper orangey red shade. At first, I was like, I know this isn't pink, but it's there. I had to decipher whether it was orange or red. Because it's on the outside, this adopted energy, it's fleeting. So when it's become a part of your career like that yellow, it's going to serve you and take a couple months to clear out if you ever decided to switch careers.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is I wasn't really a school person. I was very creative and always wanted to be hands-on. That's the only way I learn is if I'm like completely thrown into it. I was a stylist in Canada for about 7 years and I recently just got my visa, so that's why I moved to LA.
This yellow is going to support you. It's going to introduce you to so many people. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's serving you right now, so it's only going to help you.
And I love that because with the industry that I'm in, some days I'm like, is this worth it? How long am I going to do this for? But every time I have a week like that, something amazing happens and it's reassuring and it makes me believe in myself again.
This makes a lot of sense now because I want to talk about your two main colors that I'm seeing. So the first color I'm seeing is a blue, more like this shade here, like a non-debatable blue. And then the other color that's coming through to me is a purple, and that's a color I want to triple check when I go over it with you. Okay. And I always like to triple check because I'm human. So we're going to check it a couple ways, but let me talk about the blue. This is one of your empath colors. An empath is a person who can feel the emotions and energy of someone else as if it's their own.
Yeah.
So if Alex gets really frustrated, you're going to be like, oh, why am I like mad all of a sudden? You know, you're going to be able to pick that up.
Yeah.
So I like to tell people that in a swimming pool of sensitivity, a blue aura is in that 5-foot range. It's where dogs and babies hang out, playing a support role to anyone else in the pool, but it's not in the deep end where people drown or they're too sensitive to function. You can feel and understand. You could probably watch the news if you wanted to. It wouldn't drain you completely versus someone who is really highly sensitive. They would not be able to consume.
100%. I come off like I don't have feelings, but I'm always a giver. I'm always making sure everyone around me is taken care of. and so happy when sometimes I forget to check in on myself because I'm like, am I happy or am I just making the situation happy all the time?
The blue that you have, some general traits for you. It is the ultimate giver. So the energy that you want to really tap in when you channel that giver energy is that you give from a full cup. So you overflow
Yeah.
as opposed to pour out. And this is just a really nurturing color. Like it was born to be, I don't want to call it a caregiver, but like a parent, whether
Mhm.
it's to like a dog or a bird or a baby or an elderly person. Like the energy is, I care and I
Yeah.
care a lot. So this color, it's less sensitive, which is great because it can actually go out into the real world and not get drained by day-to-day people all the time or traffic or supermarkets, or you're not overwhelmed. So the blue, it's creating a blockade with people where they can get close, but they're not going to drain you as fast.
People give me the energy where people have to go home and hide in their room sometimes when they have a full day.
And you don't have to because you're not as sensitive. So
Mm.
the key word is that you can feed off someone else's energy without getting drained. And someone else, like you said, who's much more sensitive, they'll burn out in a day or like 5 hours or 20 minutes and be like, I got to be in bed for the next 3 days. That's not how your blue works. Your blue is able to receive and give. So I often see this color professionally in either two ways. Like they are always in some service level type of position where they are able to help. Think support energy. Like if they worked in a hospital, they could be like the person who answers the 911 calls, or it could be like a nurse or a doctor who's actually there to give aid, right?
Yeah.
The energy is, I'm here to help. So it doesn't matter whether you work customer support at Best Buy or you're in the hospital, like the energy is, I want to serve. A lot of times people call this color God's gift type of energy, or people who want to go and live on monasteries. How can I give back to humanity? Sometimes I see them wind up in politics because politics is a global effort to help people. There's a lot of strategy with this color. I like to tell people that it's like playing Monopoly with Mr. Monopoly. You got to think 20 steps ahead if you want to mess with a blue, man. They are going to be on point. I say this as a family full of blues, and it's so draining for me because I don't want to think 20 steps ahead. Like I'm playing chess. It's exhausting sometimes. But that's how strategic this color is. It's always playing defense. In terms of spirituality or believing, this is what I call a non believer color. It's more rooted in tradition. It's like, I want to get up, go to work, come home to my family, put my children to bed. Like that's what we're taught as society that people do and live their lives. Or they get married and the first they meet someone, they get married and have a baby.
Yeah.
It's a very rooted color in what we think of as not shameful. If you're not open to things, it's not necessarily because of some rooted belief in a prejudice towards something. It's more about historical value instilled at a young age through a religion or culturally.
Yeah.
And it would be a little bit harder to shake just because that blue is less sensitive. So it's not as open. So just keep that in mind. In terms of health, be aware of your eyes and head, like headaches, migraines, or anxiety, things that
Yeah.
can stimulate you. This color, because it's such a giver, it needs a lot of support. So think about patients who have dementia and they need ultimate support.
It's crazy that you're saying dementia. My grandma passed from dementia.
Oh, okay, good. Because I heard dementia and I was like, why is this coming through? I think that was just a connector point for you. And maybe you guys shared that color. But
Yeah.
there are certain diseases and just fallacies of the human body that are color specific. So
Yeah.
I always tell blues, like, make sure you play Sudoku, sharpen that brain. That way you're always reading something. That's
Yeah.
a message for you, Rachel. Always have a book in your hand to keep your brain alert.
Okay.
Okay. The other color that I'm seeing that I want to run by you is purple.
Mhm.
Now, this is like a extreme spiritual color. This is giving witch. Okay. It's giving psychic. It's giving, I just know things with no proof. It's giving least sensitive of all empath colors. So this color
Yeah.
isn't helping you pick up energy at all. It's just judging in a non-judging way. Like I got this tap about somebody. It's really intuitive. I'm going to go with it. I don't trust you now. So it's a cutoff color. I tell people like fuck you bye energy. So it doesn't tolerate people that typecast it. Your blue may desire to control things, but your purple's like, oh my God, don't control me. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a competing color combo.
Yeah.
Color is a little harder to manage. it has inconsistent energy. So I tell people that it's consistently inconsistent. To really thrive with this color combo, working for yourself in something artistic and creative is going to let that energy escape and have an outlet to come out through where it doesn't bundle up and then get you depressed. Purples struggle with depression. I'm talking like depressed, like you're down. This
What
color
time?
combo, the blue and the purple, killer color combo. Do you know Lisa Vanderpump? That's her color combo, blue purple. Lisa Vanderpump, Ariana Grande. You can hear a lot of their magic and manifestation and power. Those are some powerful women. And that's what purples have. They have a lot of power, but that blue softens their energy towards other people. Otherwise, they would be cutthroat and it would be really hard to tolerate them. So when you say you've been creative forever, that's coming from your purple.
Yeah.
So I see it often as doing anything from stylistic things to just needing to channel energy out and express itself like vocally, like just a purge type of energy. So you need to stay creative to have a stabilized energy with your blue. So that yellow, it's going to stay with you even though it's not yours. And then the orange is going to go away as well once it's healed, but that blue purple is going to be with you indefinitely because that's who you really are authentically. Did that resonate? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have felt connected with everything that you've said, and everything is making more and more sense.
When you go home, check your closet. Both of you, check your closet and see what's like the predominant color, like colors in my closet, because these colors have love matches. So you may wear a lot of blue or purple or yellow, but those colors like love other colors, like blues love turquoises and yellows, purples love greens and reds. So if you see that in your closet,
And it's funny because half my closet's black.
yeah, so that happens because you're a full empath. That blue and purple, full empath colors, you need defensive energy, and that black comes in as a protective measure. I tell people that all the time. They're like, I wear a lot of black. My aura must be black. I'm like, no, 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 no. It means you're sensitive. You may not be like full sensitive, like an indigo or a turquoise, but even having less sensitive empath colors means you're more vulnerable.
I just need to learn how to show my feelings.
Therapy. Sign up for
That's
some
the black.
therapy. Therapy once a week will do that blue wonders. I promise.
Literally. That was amazing, honestly, because it was my first time. I was really nervous at the beginning, but you really talked me through everything, and everything was so on point.
I feel like when I tell people their colors, it takes a couple days to process, but you'll be replaying things and you'll think about them and they'll hit you later too. You're just going to learn more about yourself now. So go home, take out ChatGPT, ask it what it
Oh, he's been hearing a lot from me lately.
dive in. Alex, same move with you. And if Rachel, you want to try and read her, you absolutely can. Start in the face and pull it out. Alex, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ready?
10. 1/2 10 more. And 60. So whenever you're ready. How is that?
It was good. My head like switched top one thing. Did you see that? I was like,
Oh,
well,
I did about halfway through. I went like this, so I don't know if either of you saw that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to clear some energy off you.
I was like, what the heck?
See, very sensitive colors. Let's start with your turquoise.
Okay.
So this is an ultimate empath color. Like you're in the deep end where people drown and you save them, or where really, really emotional people would be considered to have a lot of depth, right? Because depth is equivalent to high sensitivity. So this color, it is known as a shaman, spiritual teacher, medium. It's giving less magic and witchcraft and more like energy and science and spirituality from a scientific lens. Less faith, more numbers over here, but there's still heavy faith here, but it's also with proof. I call the turquoise the manifestation masters, right? Master manifestors, because their color, it's like water. So if you program water, it will become anything that you say it will. And that's what happens with the turquoise. When you want something, it just has to become a thought and then you will literally have it. It is just a matter of time and quantum leaping and it will exist. This color I mentioned earlier, it being a mirror. So think about water. You look at water, you see a reflection type of energy. And so people can't really see you clearly unless they also have turquoise. They have to really be able to differentiate whether it's you or them. It's a really hard color to have because when people look at you, they see the good in you and equate it with themselves, and they see the bad in you and then just equate it to you. So this color struggles with projection. Like when someone accuses you of doing something that they're actually doing, like you're cheating on me, and it's like, no, you are. This color can flow like water into any timeline, dimension, reality, very different type of channeler versus Rachel. Rachel can get an instant vibe off somebody like a psychic purple download and be like, oh my God, you'll be dead in 5 years. No timeline has to change. No amount of time is going to change that. It's guaranteed, locked in. The turquoise, it doesn't have that same confidence. It's flowing into the present every time. So it can give you like a gauge, like, this relationship may not work out. I'm not getting that vibe, but it can't lock it in because we're only ever in the present. So we're constantly shifting our reality. So I always tell people, like, this is a really great color to have when you need extra confirmation, extra analytical skills, extra, hey, what's your vibe? What's your take? Because it's going to get a clear picture. It just is getting it from the present, not a guarantee in the future. It's a solid predictor. It's just not psychic. I also tell people, like, with this color, you really want to be wary of your boundaries because this color has boundary issues. The only boundaries you can trust are vocal and physical. Okay. So if you're in a room alone, close the door. You sleep alone, close the door. Like, get your own bedroom at night. Because even if you're sleeping next to someone, they're going to consume your energy because that's when you're more vulnerable. Then vocal abilities, they should start way before someone gets close enough to you. But if someone gets close enough to you, you're going to feel their desires and you're not going to be able to say no because they're going to be wanting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Tough color to have, but a really powerful color when you can really utilize its energy. I want you to watch out for your wrists, back, hips, and areas where energy cracks. Think like your neck, problem areas where energy can get trapped, like joints, and your skin. Skincare, if you want to do like skincare things like red light, like it's like zapping water, it's going to work better on you than it would on Rachel
Yeah.
because she has less sensitive color, so it's not going to be able to penetrate as deep. Make sense? So this highly sensitive color, it's one of my favorites. People often think that I'm like biased because I have it, and like I'm not, because this color has one fatal fault, which is that it's attracted to people who need healing. So it doesn't matter if you're a narcissist, abusive, broke your arm, this color is going to find it. So it's really hard to have because they will find you as well. It's tough to be attracted to people who need healing because it feels almost karmic in nature because you're like, oh, I want to up level. And when you are naturally going to pull people into your field that need support, it may feel like you're pulling everyone. And that's exhausting. It can take a lot of boundary work. And I know the signs, right? Like red flags, so that you don't repeat cycles. When this color is like disempowered, it can get stuck in those cycles. But when it's really empowered, it can jump tiers. You won't even look historically back at yourself and you'll be like, who was that? I tolerated that.
Yeah.
So it's a cycle breaker, big time. It's here to show people where they're stuck and lead the way forward. It's a highly spiritual color. So spirituality, any way you can get it, is going to be healing for you. Doesn't matter if it's with a Reiki master or a tarot reader or an aura reader. These are all spiritual ways that we receive information. And that actually heals your aura because you're so susceptible to it and it's speaking your own language. This is one of my favorite colors. And with your yellow, yellow is your non-empath color. This is the color that is like the sun, and it is creating a boundary around your turquoise. So it invites people in, but they don't get too close because it's going to keep that turquoise safe. This is a killer color combo. I see this color on presidents, on leaders, people who can amass attention and then share their voice, right? And their message. That's an old school way that power was established. That's what this color combo is capable of. And I also see it rising in realms of work that doesn't have to be political. You could be a chef, like you're not number two, right? You're number one, calling all the shots. You could be a very profound shaman at some point. I could see you side hustling and doing your own spiritual retreats would be huge for you. You want to go down that path eventually, but like when you work with those colors together and you feed both of them at the same time, that's when you don't burn out. But that yellow is tough to palette for some colors. It's not a sensitive color, so it can be hard. If it gets too close, they can burn you. When it's disempowered, it has a big ass ego. Think of the sun and the ego to the point where it destabilizes you from making informed decisions. You have a really lovely shade of yellow. When it becomes disempowered, it's not going to be able to think clearly. It also gets a little thick-headed as a result. It's a thicker color, so it can't really receive anything but attention. So instead of thinking like, "Oh, I love attention," it's like, "No, no, no, we want good attention." This color I see really struggle with stomach issues. If you can't have dairy or gluten, that's really coming from that yellow, and it's really a sensitive gut stomach issue. This is one of the only aura colors that I see equated with a chakra. And it really is that yellow chakra where everything can get jumbled in the gut. So you just want to really watch yourself because as powerful as that turquoise is, it can feed things the other way as well. The colors that you guys have together are very much compatible. Her blue loves your yellow and turquoise, and your turquoise can really speak very clearly to her purple and her blue. There is so much flow between you. It makes sense that you have this podcast. It's going to have a bigger impact, and it's still going to serve both of your color combos like the exact same way.
Wow.
I love these colors, and it's good that you guys both have two. Even though I know yours, you have this adopted color over here, Rachel. The two is like a very grounding energy. It's like having 2 feet on the ground versus three, where you got to entertain three different voices in your head. What do you think, Alex?
I think that everything you said is so accurate, especially when it comes to the blue. Even the podcast episode I just did, I actually last night went to a salt cave and worked with a past life healer. This has come up several times. In past lives, I've been a healer in different ways, different forms. And then also in my past life, she saw me as a little girl and my inner child was coming out. And the message was to project my inner child a little bit more. Through that lifetime, I did generational healing with my parents and everything like that, which totally in this life, the way that you spoke about your family, how you were like, I'm telling you guys what's going to happen. No one's listening to me, but this is going to occur. The amount of times I've done that, and especially as I've like stepped into really utilizing more boundaries and putting those in place, that's been happening lately. I'm very much into going to the chiropractor. He was like, you crack like you're a 10-time athlete.
Turquoises, they do non-insurance medicine. So think chiropractors, think acupuncture.
I do acupuncture once a week.
Yeah, same. It's the best. Think salt therapy, like taking a salt bath, that'll clear out your energy. These are all things that are historic, rooted in Chinese medicine and have been around since the dawn of time. That's what is going to help your energy heal because it's turquoise. That's not going to have the same effect on Rachel because she doesn't have that color. So that's extra validation for you.
Because I've been a healer and I feel like some things I can predict, and I don't know if it's like my intuition. I guess the yellow and turquoise balance out each other.
They're about 50-50. Your purple is a little bigger. It's at 65-70, and your blue is a little bit stronger, and that is normal because purple is less sensitive, so it's going to take up a little bit more space.
Yeah.
You just do the things that each color enjoys.
Spiritual retreats, that's things that I've been told by past people as well. Everything you said.
I think in the next 10 years, like that'll open up for you. I do want to give you a message from your grandmother. And Rachel, your grandmother is a little bit stronger, but the choices that you make, they need to be emboldened. You need to make them and stick with them. They can't be like, I maybe I changed my mind. They have to be like lit with 1,000 torches. I'm going towards this. Otherwise, there isn't enough support for them to move forward. You can't have any naysaying near you, let alone within you, if you want to move towards certain goals. I don't know if you've struggled with doubt and things like that, like self-doubt before, but
I think I'm just a crazy overthinker to the point where I can't even decide.
so a way around that is to lead with inspiration. When inspiration strikes, it takes you immediately out of perfectionism. It's not going to be about, is it perfect? You have to just start.
Just make the decision.
Yeah, you just have to make the decision and then it will move you forward. The tools would be like with inspiration or without like any sort of dependency on other people. Is there anything that you want to ask your grandmother?
If she has any messages, anything to
Yeah.
share.
Hold on one second. She's funny. Are you seeing someone new?
No.
Someone's coming. You're gonna have a new boyfriend or a partner.
I've heard that by 2 different people in the last week.
She says she's gonna like the next one. She approves on the next one. If you get a little nervous about this guy because you think maybe he's like a little strange, that's not gonna be a bad thing for you. I see him breaking out of the mold of the type of person you would typically date. She's just like, it's the next serious one, like the next one. I'm like, give me a time period. I couldn't get her to get it down to before 2 months, but he really doesn't feel far to me. I don't see you seeing someone else before him. You know, it's not like there's a couple more. He's literally like en route. He's on the way. There's like a yellow brick road and it's going right to you. He's not going to get off the road. I see her being really happy.
Is it gonna be here?
Yeah, I do see it being there. He's giving me boy dad energy and he's giving a lot of masculinity. He's not in something toxic, but someone who's a provider and takes care of their family and has this joy in doing that. He gives hero energy. I feel like he may have a yellow aura. I feel like you guys will get along. I'm excited for you, but he doesn't feel like he's older than 42 or 43. I don't know how old you are, but it feels like if you meet anyone older than that, she's throwing up the cutoff.
We're cutting it off at 40.
She's like, no one above this age. I'm hearing the name Ben.
Okay.
I'm excited for you.
Is there any hope for me?
So you're single?
Yeah. I've honestly been single for a really long time.
I do see you getting married. Not that Alex isn't getting married. I see that as not even just like a wish fulfillment. It's more than that. I see that a very dedicated chapter in your life. It feels like there's 2 stops before that chapter.
Would you say stops with other people or just stops that?
No, like career a little bit
Yeah.
more, a little bit of travel. It feels like around 3 years from now, like that will be upon you. And it feels in that 3-year stump from 3 to 5 years, that's when you'll have the most opportunities where the person with the traits of your husband would present. It's less something that you can control and more something that is about timing than anything else. I think that it's not the main chapter right now. They're not close enough where I can define them. The bigger message is that you do have that life and that is not going to pass you by. I actually see something that's a little bit of a block there. Not right now, but the next chapter that you move into, I see you getting a little frustrated. Like, how do I attract this guy? I think you're going to need to maybe get more specific about a partner when you get closer, because then you'll really be able to pull him in. Not the next year, but like the year following is when I would tell you to really make a list, throw everything on there because it will save you a lot of time double checking. Is this the guy? Is this the guy? You're not far. You just don't have enough clarity yet. I think if you guys did like a manifestation night, a vision board night, you guys could sit down together and Alex would be really good to run traits through. She'll be able to connect very clearly for you so close to you with your grandmother that I think you could get some specifics through Alex. Are you worried about your career? Like if I could keep going with styling at all?
It's not that I'm worried about my career. I'm just so ready to take everything that I can and just really focus on being the main stylist now, not the assistant to everybody else.
Okay, so part of the reason that you haven't pulled this person in yet is because that purple has to be independent. And if you're in a transitional space with like, I don't know if I want to stay in this lane forever, that energy has to be really confident and stable before it can pull in a partner, because otherwise it will literally self implode and it will make itself dependent on the partner. So I can feel the partner getting pushed back so that your career is stabilized and you stay in a completely independent space. And then it's interesting. It's like the partner chapter, they can't even reach you right now. The priorities are different. Yeah, that's gonna come though. I always tell people when they're like, "Am I gonna be single?" I'm like, "Are you alive? Do you really believe that you're gonna be single forever?"
No.
Exactly.
I need to put more energy into it if that's really what I'm looking for.
If you're trying to do that right now, I would invite you to put on a pie chart 10% energy towards dating this year. Next year, 15 to 20. Year after that, 60. That's the breakdown because you're not going to get the return there right now. If you stay with that, when you want something, you want to manifest it. That is true. So when it comes to that year 3, pay for the Hinge like expensive subscription so you can not waste your time. You really have to make a concerted effort when the timing lines up. It'll be easier for you. I don't see as much resistance there because the timing will show the availability.
It'll just make sense.
It's like you're there for work, but someone shows up.
Very
That's why I feel
reassuring.
like we don't actively go on dates.
People are like, DIY in it forever. Like they're stuck.
I'm like, he's literally just gonna walk into my life. I'm not concerned about it. So
it's
it's
meant.
fine.
Don't
Yeah.
even worry about the how. Just keep the vision on the end picture of you. It's not your responsibility to worry about the how. You just keep your eye on the prize.
And we're good like that. We're so work focused. We're always bringing each other up, always trying to do things that are going to better us.
It's like yin and yang because I'm very type A, she's type B.
I think you guys would be supportive towards one another in any type of situation, but this one in particular, you guys have different perspectives on these topics. So
Yeah.
it's like someone experienced and someone who maybe hasn't had exposure to this before. So you're really filling the void for everyone. So I see the
Yeah.
podcast even becoming stronger. So that's, I think, all we have time for. I could keep going, but it's up to you. I don't know how long.
We definitely need to schedule a one-on-one with you. And I'm sure everyone that has watched or listened, if you guys want a reading or even mentorship, how can they get in touch with you?
Best way to get in touch with me is to go to my website, which is www.spiritontap.love. And you can just press work with me and all of my availability for psychic mediumship sessions or aura readings or a surgery where I pull energy off people if they have a whole cracked aura, or just learn more about your aura on my TikToks or Instagram videos. And let me know what you think in the comments.
I will link all of her socials and website below so you guys can just go click on it, follow her, check it all out.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
Is there anything else that my grandma's trying to say before we leave? Because, like, she had dementia. We lost her before she had passed. She got it pretty bad in the last 4 months. She wasn't there. I also didn't live in Canada. I wasn't able to see her or say bye to her. When she did pass, 6 months later, we had to bury my grandpa. It was really sad because she meant a lot to me, and so did he.
So they're together. Like he's together with her. And she's actually coming through as your specific guide. Like she's on your spirit team. So if you wanted to connect with her more, you would have easier access than another family member. I would invite you to practice some automatic writing to connect with her. She, around her passing, so she's showing me that she, even though was not here, that she knew where she was. She knew, who was around her. She doesn't have any remorse or feel negatively towards you for not being there. She prefers where she's at now because she has more access to you. She's like, I'm good. This is way better. It's hard for her to speak to you. Maybe you're not as auditory. She's showing me more tools. They're dice, but they have different symbols on them and they mean different things. She's saying that she wants you to know that you're taken care of as spiritually as anyone else is on her behalf. Just like Alex's grandmother is looking out for her, she's doing similarly for you. There's a lot of support and she really is guiding you. She's like, I'm new at this. I'm not the best. I'm getting more experience, but she's doing a good job and she really wants to connect with you more. Like she's like, I'm readily available. Was this your mom, your mom's mom who, yeah. So she wants to tell your mom that she's fine. Is your mom really religious or anything?
No, but my honey and papa went to church every Sunday.
She really wants to communicate that faith is faith. And as long as she believes in her, she'll be able to send more messages. And she's showing me little birds that she sends to your mom.
She had a million birdhouses in her backyard.
She's really proud of your mom. I don't know if she's supporting herself, but she's commending her for all of the support that she's had to pull herself through and forward with. She's reflecting and being like, your grandmother wouldn't have been able to do what you've been able to do. And she's just trying to give her adoration and she believes in her.
Wow, that's amazing.
They're so close to you, I promise, both of them. Yeah. I'm glad that you asked for more from her. If you could get like an honorary piece of jewelry, like an amulet or something, like a necklace.
I actually wear her ring every day and her bracelet.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So she's showing me a necklace. I think she wants you to use it as a pendulum to connect with her. Yeah. Don't worry, this is going to be fun for you. Every full moon or new moon, you sit down with her for 2 hours and you plan out your month and
Wow.
all your desires. This is amazing. Thank you for having me.
so
Oh my
much
God,
fun.
this was so good.
Yeah, keep me posted on everything when your new man comes and when you get to keep connecting with your grandmother and what other messages come through for you.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening to another entry of the Dry Diaries. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for coming on.
Bye, babe.